Okay, we're gonna do some pelvic floor exercises now. So I wanna first, maybe we'll start with our core breathing again. Was anyone not sure about what they were doing with the core breathing? Did it make sense? I'm gonna talk you through it again. Okay, so I'm gonna talk you through it again because this is an awesome exercise. And I would say, like, if it feels nice, this is like safe to do like 2-3 times a week if you wanted. We're going to put your hands, and I usually do it for about like a minute or so. We're going to put our hands on the sides of our rib cage, and you're going to take that nice deep breath, breathing into our rib cage, and as we exhale, we're doing a little Kegel.
Is it best to stand or sit?
So, good question. So, someone asked, is it best to stand or sit? The easiest position to do this in is actually lying on your back with your knees bent. But we're going to do it in sitting. But the easiest position, if you're finding it really difficult, I'm glad you asked that. If you're finding it really difficult in sitting, it might be because your pelvic floor muscles aren't strong enough to go against gravity. So sitting will definitely be easier than standing, but then lying on your back, like this, and doing it in this position will be the easiest position. Okay, so we'll do it again. If you guys want to get on the floor, you can, but we'll do it in sitting. And the other important thing is we want to make sure we're not slouched when we do it, or our bums aren't back when we do it. We want to make sure we're sitting in a nice neutral position. We're inhaling into our hands. And then exhale, we do our Kegel. Inhale, relax your muscles. Exhale, Kegel. Inhale, relax. Exhale, Kegel. It'll be easier if you do your exhale through pursed lips, like you're blowing out a candle. Everyone get that? Okay, I want to try a fun little thing. So I want you to try to, okay, we're going to all just do a Kegel and try to take a nice deep breath when you're holding the Kegel. Is it harder to take a deep breath when you're Kegeling? Anyone find that? So when we Kegel and we try to breathe, it's going to be harder because it blocks that air. So that's what I was trying to get at. Try now do a forceful exhale without a Kegel. And now try doing a forceful exhale, but hold your Kegel. Which one do you get more pressure with? Try it again. Without the Kegel or with? Yeah. So fun fact, you can make your values on a breathing test, spirometry test. Has anyone done spirometry tests? Yeah? You can make them maybe a little better if you do the Kegel with it. So you Kegel and it provides more force of that direction of air. So it will look like it's, well, I mean, it not only looks like it, but you're losing some of the air if you don't Kegel with it. So the air goes out the other way instead of just out. So you can do better with your breathing exercises and tests, and your lung capacity can get better by doing pelvic floor exercises. So the core breathing one is in that link there. Okay, the next one we're gonna do, this is a fun one. So you're gonna have to sit in a good posture, and then what we're gonna be doing is quick pelvic floor contractions. So you're gonna contract your pelvic floor muscles and relax, contract and relax. We're gonna try as quick as you can, and I'm gonna put a timer on for 10 seconds. So you're gonna Kegel and then relax. Kegel, relax. Don't worry about the breathing for this one. You just go really, really quick. Just don't hold your breath. Everyone get what I'm saying? Yeah? So I'm gonna put a little timer on, and we're gonna put the timer on for 10 seconds, and then we're gonna go around in a circle and see, or you can yell out whatever, how many you got, and I'll tell you what you wanna be getting at, okay? So you count your reps. Everyone's counting their Kegels, right? Ready and go. And don't worry about the breath with it. We're just doing quick ones. And stop. Okay. What was everyone getting? 5, okay. 7, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, okay. So our goal is 10 in 10 seconds. So if you didn't get 10 in 10 seconds, that's going to be your exercise. Yeah. Okay, do you want to try it one more time? Okay. Ready and go. And stop. Was it about the same or better that time? Same? So if it was below 10, that would be a good exercise for you to practice a little bit. And that is really important for, like, if you have a sneeze or something and your pelvic floor needs to contract really quick and you don't realize, because when you sneeze, your body you shouldn't have to think about it every single time. But if you can't do it voluntary, it's not going to happen on its own, right? So it's just like if you're walking, your quads, you don't think about activating your quads. It just engages. But if that speed isn't there in the voluntary, it's not going to be there as optimally in the other, for the non-voluntary stuff, right? Okay, next one. We're going to hold our pelvic floor contraction, and you're going to hold it at about a 50% contraction. So not 100%, but half of that. And you're going to hold it until, well, how shall I do this? You put your hand when you think you lost your Kegel, okay? And then I'll tell you your number of seconds, okay? Ready? So we're holding at 50%. Ready and go. And we just keep holding it, keep holding it. Unless you start to feel like it's getting weaker and you're letting it go, then you put your hand up. And your 20 seconds. And 29 seconds. 35 seconds. Okay, and relax. So our aim was 60 seconds hold. If you didn't hold it for the 60, that's your exercise. Sound good? Okay, what's the other one I want to do? Let's do another one. We're going to do it with some movement, though. This is a little harder, so don't worry if you don't get it right away. We're going to do some sit to stand from the chair. We're going to just stand up and then sit back down. As we stand up, I want you to hold your pelvic floor muscles. And then as we lower down, you're going to relax your pelvic floor muscles. So as we push up, we Kegel. Kegel as we push up. Release Kegel as you go down. Kegel to go up. Release Kegel to go down. Kegel up. Release down. Kegel up. Release down. Now just push up without you doing a Kegel. What did it feel different? What?
Easier. Yes.
Easier?
Yeah.
What did it feel like in your pelvis or your core?
Tighter, I guess.
Tighter, yeah. So you'll get better core engagement if you do your Kegel. Let's all put our hand, find that bone on your hip there, and then sink your hand in there. Really sink, you have to really press in there. So not on the bone, but inside the bone. And now I want you to do a Kegel. Is everyone feeling something? So when you do a Kegel, those muscles that I talked about, the transverse abdominis, they tense up too. They engage. Yeah. So you can get more core support by doing your Kegels. Better core workout. Okay. We're going to be sitting down. Then we're going to be lifting our legs up. And then as we lift up, we're holding that Kegel. Hold that Kegel, and then let's kick. Hold the Kegel, 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 and stop. Now let's do it without the Kegel. Kick, kick, kick. Look how unstable we all are, right? Okay, let's do it with the Kegel again. Lift up and Kegel. Wow. Got a perfect class here. And release the Kegel, but still keep kicking. Wow. Look at those backs all moving. You can see how that could lead to maybe some back pain if you're doing that with exercises. Kegel. Yeah. Hold the Kegel, and release. Good job. Okay, we're going to do another sit to stand. We're going to Kegel as we push up, and then release as we go down again. Kegel to push up, release to go down. Does anyone find it they can't feel the Kegel when they're doing the movement? Or they can feel it? Pardon?
It's harder to feel it.
Yeah. So it's super normal to feel like you're maybe not doing anything because you have so many other big muscle groups that are working while you're doing this. So if it doesn't feel as strong as when you're in sitting, that's pretty normal. Kegel to push up, release to go down. We're going to make it even more complicated. And keep in mind, you don't have to do this every time because your body, like I said, when you take a step, your quads engage, your pelvic floor engages with it. But if you start practicing it sometimes, it can be helpful for making it a habit later. So this next one, remember I talked about how important breathing is for your pelvic floor. So this next one, we're going to stand up, but as we stand up, we're going to do our core breathing. So you're going to exhale as we push up, and then release, inhale as we sit down. Exhale to push up, and Kegel. Inhale to go down. Does that make sense? So we're Kegeling and exhaling as we push up, and then we're releasing our pelvic floor, relaxing as we move down. I see some confused faces in the back there. Did you understand that? Yeah? Okay. It can be confusing putting everything together.
I think for me, my brain gets hung up on, I've always been taught the idea of you relax on an exhale and you tighten on an inhale. So it's like, that's a bit of a stumbling block.
Yeah. So with the anatomy or the actual function of your pelvic floor, as you exhale, I'll tell you why this works is because let's all just put our hands on our belly, and then I want you to forcefully exhale. What happens to your abs when you forcefully exhale? Do they relax or do they tense up? Try it again. Tighten. They tighten. So if they tighten, and we know that pelvic floor and abdominals engage at the same time, then we know they go together, right? So another thing is you want to be exhaling when you're going to need more core support. So if we're squatting, if we're doing something that requires more effort, then we want to be doing our exhale on the effort. Does that make sense? So it's different in yoga because yoga, you're doing it for a whole other reason. You're inhaling, relaxing, trying to move into flows, moving into positions, trying to stretch and lengthen. But with this kind of thing, we're trying to do effortful movements. So it's a little different and follows more Pilates stuff. But if you think of the anatomy of pelvic floor, when we inhale, just because of physics, if pelvic floor contracted when we inhaled, or if it relaxed when we exhaled, you'd never get air out of your body. It wouldn't be able to push it out. Right? So this just naturally happens. You don't have to think about it, but it's just because that pressure in your abdomen needs to always stay the same. Otherwise, you'll be combustible. Or you'll be a vacuum. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to be doing effort right now. So what are we going to be doing when we stand up? Exhale, yeah. And or what else are we going to do with pelvic floor? Kegel. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. We're exhaling and Kegel as we push up. And inhale down. Exhale, Kegel to push up. Inhale down. Last one, exhale, push up. Inhale down. Good, and then shoulder rolls. Did it feel like your squat was a little more powerful when you did it? Yeah? Okay, so I did pelvic floor stuff. Now I want to do some stretches for our pelvic floor that are going to be helpful for if you have pelvic tightness, or if you just want to stretch, or if you have prolapse. I mean, prolapse, we'll do some of them, but I'm not going to do any like inverted stuff here. Unless you really want to. So we're going to first start with our hamstring stretch, our legs nice and long. And without bending through our back, we're just going to lean forward, keeping our back straight. And already you should feel a good hamstring stretch there. Everyone feeling a good hamstring? Yeah. So when we're stretching, this is when we don't want to be doing a bunch of Kegels. We want to be relaxing because we're trying to get everything stretched, right? So this would be a good time to do your belly breathing, but not the core breathing, not the Kegel. So breathing into our belly, relaxing pelvic floor, and exhale. Don't do anything with pelvic floor. Just let it do its thing. Inhale into belly. Exhale. Last one. Inhale into belly. Exhale. Good. Let's bring our legs a little wider. And now we're going to reach over to one side. So now you're going to feel more in the inner thigh. Everyone feeling it in there? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So now we do that same thing. Let's breathe into belly and pelvic floor. And exhale. So this muscle here, our adductors, inserts right into the front of our pelvis. So sometimes gets really tight when you have pelvic tension because you can see all that area is in close proximity. And then switching sides. And you can see why pelvic stretches, pelvic exercises, maybe now it makes sense why it could maybe help with the back too. Okay, coming up, let's see, I don't know if all of you can do it, but if you can't do the full one, you'll do this crossed over. If you can bring it all the way up, you can bring it over the knee. Oh, all of you. Pretty good. You guys are a flexible group. Are you doing yoga?
We do this exercise with Monday class.
Ah,
So.
Good. Okay.
Fitness is chair yoga and the other classes taught by the same person.
Amazing. Okay. So we're going to be hinging through our hips and then leaning forward. Whew, I'm tight. And then what are we going to be doing? What we're with our breath? Huh?
Breathe in then.
Yeah. And no Kegel, right?
Right.
And I usually hold stretches for anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute. I'm so tight today. I need to stretch this. Okay, let's bring the other leg over. This side's even worse. And then leaning forward. And you can push that knee down to feel even more of a stretch. You feel that?
Just jerking the leg around, adding benefit.
What was that?
Like moving the leg, like
Oh, just moving the leg around after that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, movement is great. Yeah, we can even do that if you want to go and stay in that position again, and then moving it up and down can be really nice to work on that rotation in your hip. So you keep the other one stable and you're just moving the top leg up and down. This can be great for certain, not always, but if with certain sciatic pain, this can be helpful when you're moving it like this. Okay, let's switch sides. We'll do some movement. I love the questions. It guides my class. Thank you. Anytime you move that joint, if you've got arthritis or anything, that's good. Your body's going to love movement. Okay, we're going to do some cat-cow now. Cat-cow is also really great for moving pelvis and back. And we're going to do the Kegels with it because we're moving with it, okay? So as we arch our back, we're inhaling, relaxing our pelvic floor. And as we tuck our tailbone under, we're going to exhale and Kegel. Inhale as we lengthen, nice and long. Exhale and Kegel. Inhale, lengthen, nice and long. Exhale, Kegel. Inhale, lengthen, nice and long. And exhale, Kegel. Last one, inhale, lengthen, nice and long. Exhale with our Kegel. And then coming up into sitting. Shoulder rolls back. And some neck circles. Even the neck is connected to the relationship with your pelvic floor because it is so connected to our breathing, right? And we're going to finish with our core breathing again, I find repetition is key. So we're going to take a nice deep breath into belly and pelvic floor. Relaxing our pelvic floor, and then as we exhale, we Kegel. Inhale, relax our pelvic floor. Exhale, Kegel. Inhale, relax. 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 And exhale, Kegel. Do a little shakeout. And so if you want to exercise for the week or to work on, you can either do your core breathing, which is a good one. Everyone felt their muscles relax, right? Yes. So you can do that. Or, you can do that and another one. If you didn't get 10 in 10 seconds, then you can practice that one. And if you didn't get 60-second hold for the Kegel at 50% half your contraction, then you can do that. Or you can do them all. But yeah, it's great to practice pelvic health. Does it all make sense why it's so important?
Sure it does.
Yeah.